What's going on, guys? We are back with another Walking Dead video. I know I've been slacking a bit. I haven't done one of these videos in 2 months, so I really wanted to get one out to you guys as soon as possible. For this video, we're going to be talking about what Nick's role could have been towards the end of Season 2 had he survived in Episode 4. Rather than rush through the first 2 episodes, we're going to jump straight into Episode 4, where Nick could have possibly died due to his gunshot. Nick didn't play a very large role in the plot, unfortunately, which explains why his death was so inevitable. Nick would have to have stayed with Luke and Sarah. The plot would progress similar to how it normally did until the part where Sarah has her breakdown in the trailer. Depending on your choices, Nick can play a crucial role in this situation. Sarah, torn apart over the recent loss of her father Carlos, is given some comfort by Nick. He tells Sarah how seeing Pete dead made him feel alone. Depending on the choices you make when interacting with Nick, he becomes more open emotionally and tells Sarah to keep pushing as Clementine inspired him to keep moving forward for his uncle. Sarah regains her confidence and moves with everyone to escape the trailer after they're cornered by walkers. Nick looks to Clementine and thanks her for giving him the confidence to do better after all his screw-ups. We'll fast forward later in the episode where the group makes their way to the observation deck. The group fights the herd the same way, only this time, Nick tells Sarah to fight with them. Noticing the gun on the ground that Jane dropped earlier, he picks it up and gives it to her. Now, depending on your choices when it came to helping Sarah learn to shoot, this can turn out very well. The observation deck collapses the same way it did in canon with Sarah falling down. As Clementine, you can tell Jane to help her and Nick will go with her, which would ensure that Sarah lives. If you choose not to, Nick will still run to her rescue, but won't succeed in saving her, similar to the canon scenario. The plot would progress very similar to canon up to the meetup with Arvo. Nick knows not to trust them and encourages Luke and Kenny to be cautious, trying to establish that he's grown more aware of the danger outside of the group. Arvo notices that Sarah has the gun he used earlier and tells her to return it to him. Nick tells him to back off. The fight would break out similar to canon, only this time, the first shot you see towards the end of the episode would hit Sarah, killing her instantly. Finally, in the final episode, the shooting match would play out similar to the original story, only this time, Nick grabs Arvo and threatens to kill him instead of Kenny after seeing Sarah die. Kenny's not being objective to it, but the rest of the group urges Nick to stop. Luke would yell at Nick, telling him he doesn't want a repeat of what happened to Matthew on the bridge. Nick drops him, furious and eager to kill Arvo. The group grieves over losing Sarah and Rebecca, and they press on. The scenario at the power plant would play out very similar, only this time with Nick having more interactions with the group, celebrating the birthday of his best friend, and being able to reflect on what he's done over the past couple of episodes. Now we're at the scenario where the group has to cross the frozen lake. Arvo tries to flee Kenny while they're on the ice like in canon. However, Nick points his rifle at Arvo and shoots the ice in front of him, causing it to break and Arvo to fall partially in, like in the original story. Luke is caught on the ice and is unable to move due to being shot in the leg. Nick tries to help Luke, but he tells him to stay back. Whether or not you decide to help Luke or shoot the walkers, Nick runs to help his best friend, and the ice collapses. If you choose to help Luke along with Nick, you will both succeed in rescuing him. However, despite the outcome, Nick will die due to the underwater struggle with the walkers. He either dies underwater if you sent him alone to save Luke, or he'll reveal that he was bitten after they get into the house. Nick turns to Luke and tells him to shoot him, as he wouldn't want it to be done by anyone else. Luke is distraught and can't decide for himself. The choices here would be to do it yourself, convince Luke to fulfill his dying friend's wish, or ask Kenny to take care of it. The best suggestion in my opinion would be to ask Kenny to take care of Nick, since he would be the most sympathetic in a scenario like this, especially if Lee was the one to shoot Duck based on your choices in Season 1. Luke would hug Nick for the last time before Kenny would bring him outside of the house to put Nick out of his misery. Nick would look back at Clementine and thank her for showing him how to survive so others could live. A gunshot would go off, signaling to Nick's dramatic exit. The group would grieve over the loss of Nick as they buried him outside the house. Well guys, that is my theory about what Nick could have been had he survived in Episode 4. I think Nick was lacking a lot of character development over the course of this game, and to be honest, the fact that he became so non-existent throughout the plot in Episode 3 just didn't sit right with me. So I was really eager to do a video like this. I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And be sure to stick around for another video like this. Hopefully it'll come by a lot faster, and I have 2 more that I've been sitting on for quite a bit that I would like to share with you. I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, Walking Dead fans,
part of growing up is doing what's best for the people you care about, even if sometimes that means hurting someone else.